Welcome to the Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. My name is John Santucci. Call me Tooch. Anthony is here, and he and I are going to be talking college basketball tournament weekend. Anthony, how's it going? I think can't hear you at all. Nope. Got no sound for you. That's wild. Nope, they're frozen. All right. Well, if you are joining us, ask us any question. We're talking some college basketball. Can't hear you at all. All right. How about now? Not yet. All right. Well, we're going to be talking 5 games. We'll get Anthony get the sound worked out here. Games we are going to be talking about. All right. He's back. I can hear
How's
you.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Connection.
Probably.
All right. Let's get into some games. First
Not
game.
used to being on this side of the screen.
That's all right. Let's get into our first game. It starts in about 2 hours. That is Texas A&M, Arkansas, and the over-under is 138.5. I show a line of Arkansas -6. Is that about right, Anthony?
No, that's correct. That is correct.
All right. Yesterday, Texas A&M played a team that probably I don't know if they wanted to play Auburn.
No, it was horrible. It was horrible. I watched pretty much the whole game, and that Auburn just didn't show just no effort. They didn't try. They looked, just the body language looked like they didn't want to be there. So it gives me a lot of worry going into the big dance. I mean, if you're not going to really try and not going to want to, I mean, just no urgency. It looked like they just wanted to go home. As Texas A&M, they had some fight. I mean, they wanted to be there. They were having fun. They were showing fight. As an Auburn, just like blah. I mean, it was not the Auburn that we know. That we only had the number 4 team in the country. So a lot of question marks around Auburn going into the tournament.
I mean, I have my doubts because people talk about home Auburn and road Auburn. And I was thinking, I guess you could throw neutral site Auburn in the road Auburn category. But Texas A&M gets the win.
Yep.
And today they face Arkansas team. A lot of people are on LSU and the LSU defense. I had Arkansas, and over was one of my top plays. Both of those hit. What do you see in this game, Anthony?
You know what? Texas A&M has not been good all year. They're 9-9 in the conference, 2-8 away from their home court. They just haven't been a good team. I mean, they are playing in a very, very tough conference in the first place. I'm not sold on a Texas A&M, and I really thought Auburn was going to beat the hell out of them yesterday, and that wasn't the case. This Arkansas team has been the underdog the entire season, going above and beyond, finishing 4th in the conference, 13-5 overall in the conference. I love Arkansas here. I mean, I just don't see Texas A&M. They're not on the same level as Arkansas. I love Arkansas to win, possibly to -6. I would lean to -6, but I think the total is the better play. Texas A&M is going to put points on the board. Arkansas is going to put points on the board. I think the total is way wrong. I think the over is by far the best play in this game. You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm on the over too. The over yesterday was a great play. Head to head, these two teams, Arkansas definitely the hotter team. They both won at each other's home. At Arkansas was an overtime game, and Texas A&M beat them by 5 at Texas A&M. No injuries really to report. I mean, Texas A&M's got a bench player, like the fifth or sixth guard, that's out with a pec injury. I still like Arkansas, man. They're coming in here with they've won 9 of their last 10, Anthony. So
They're a very
we're
good
on
team.
we're on Arkansas, and a lot of good players on Arkansas, man. I just think they have a little more star power, a little more scoring, with Tourney and JD Note. I think I'll be on Arkansas as well. What do you say we move on to man? This might be the best game of the day.
Yeah.
Kentucky, Tennessee. Kentucky laying 3.5 points, I think. -3.
The line's moving like crazy. Every book has got 3, 3.5. Yeah.
Call it 3. Over under 138. I also kind of like the over in this game, Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I just don't see much defense coming out. Tennessee is more of a defensive team than Kentucky. Both teams could put ball in the hoop. This is another one. I think the over/under is too low. Just because it's a neutral court doesn't mean. I mean, this should be in the 140s realistically. I would lean the best play in this game, in particular. I have to go with the over as well. But I would also lean Tennessee. I think there's just too much hype under this Kentucky team. Both teams finished 6-5 away from their home court. So do you really think Kentucky is a 3-point favorite or better than Tennessee at a neutral court? I just think that number is just too high. I like Tennessee to cover the spread or even possibly win.
Right. I mean, when these two teams played each other during the season at each other's places, it was a bit of a blowout. At each other, home team blew out the visiting team at Tennessee.
That's right.
Tennessee won by 13. Then before that, in Kentucky hung 107 points on that Tennessee defense. So coming in, man, both teams are pretty hot. Tennessee's won 5 in a row. Kentucky's won 5 of their last 6. Their only loss coming at Arkansas in that stretch. For me, Kentucky is so deep. They have a scoring from a bunch of places. You got Washington, Shibaway, Wheeler. All these guys could score. They've got four guys averaging double figures. Shibaway, 14 rebounds a game. He's just a monster under the boards. So,
these two teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah.
I mean, they both went 14-4 in the conference. Kentucky 26-6, Tennessee 24-7, both undefeated at home, and both 6-5 on the road away from their home court. I mean, this is the most evenly matched game on the board. That's why I hate taking the side. I'm definitely not betting the side. I'm not betting the over, but if I were to bet on this game, I would bet the over. I think the value is in the over rather than any other play.
Totally agree. Board. I've got the over. I probably will give it out. Tennessee also 5 players in double figures. So the side. I found myself when I'm looking at today's games taking a lot of totals rather than sides. Just because when you get down to the end couple games of the tournament, the teams are very evenly matched. There's not a lot of edge. The lines are super sharp. So I'm finding the most edge in the totals. So again, Anthony, I recommend a play on the over for Tennessee, Kentucky. All right. How about the next game? We've got Texas Tech and Kansas. Boy, another great game. This might rival Kentucky, Tennessee for the best game of the day too. Head to head, they split home and home. The last time these two teams play, it was an overtime game. There were 185 points scored. You don't think about Texas Tech, as a giant offense like that. But, it's 94-91 in overtime. And then before that, Texas Tech in Lubbock, it was 75-67, the Raiders. And 75 points, though, that's also above Texas Tech's normal scoring. Texas Tech averages about 72 points a game. Kansas about 78 points a game. It's just on defense. Kansas is not a bad defensive team. Let's say, but Texas Tech is one of the best defensive teams in the country. They barely got by Oklahoma last night. What's your thoughts, Texas Tech and Kansas today?
Well, I got a futures ticket on Texas Tech to win the tourney, so this is a good hedge play for me. I just feel, number one, I like the under. If I were to lean the total, I would lean the under. I think it's going to be a grinded out battle. It's going to be a battle. It's going to go back and forth. But at the end, I do feel Kansas wins this. Look where it's being played. It's being played Kansas City, Missouri, which is not far from where Kansas is being played. It's practically a home game for Kansas. So if anyone watched a Kansas game in this conference tournament, they see the crowd is all behind them. I mean, those Jayhawk fans, they travel, and they travel in large numbers. This is going to be a huge, huge advantage for Kansas just based on location.
I agree.
I locked it in personally for 2 units at -2. Now it's going to 2.5 and opened up, I think, -1. It's just too many things in the way for Texas Tech. Now, if these two teams played, say, Las Vegas, Tampa, New York, I'm going to go with Texas Tech. That's a true neutral court. But giving them Kansas City, Missouri on a team that feeds on their home crowd, feeds on home court, Kansas is the pick here. I hate to say it. I mean, I love Texas Tech. Texas Tech is my team from here on out. I've been saying this at the beginning of February. Texas Tech is the team that can match up against anybody. They can beat anybody. But on the road, they're only 3-7 away from their home court, which means they're not good against the road crowd. Oklahoma State they lost to. They lost to many teams on the road, 3-7 in their conference. Kansas is a huge advantage here just because of location. I'm taking Kansas.
Well, this team, Texas Tech, 4-1 neutral site. Kansas 5-1 in a neutral site. I'm with you on Kansas. Kansas is hot coming in, man. Right. It's not really a neutral site. Lawrence, really. Kansas is not that far from Kansas City. But
I know technically it's considered a neutral court, but
right.
Realistically, it's not.
Right. Realistically, there's going to be massive amounts of Jayhawks fans there.
Yeah, much more. Maybe at 80-20.
Yep.
80% Kansas, 20%. That's how big of an advantage it's going to be.
Yep.
So Kansas is the play in this game.
The Kansas is hot. They've got a little bit of an advantage shooting 3 points, 36% to 30%, which you like in a tournament. Team gets hot. Both field goal percentage and free throw percentage are pretty even. Rebounding a slight edge to Kansas, but Texas Tech sure can bang. The under's low, so I don't have that big of a take on the total as to me it's the number's pretty sharp. I show a slight edge to Kansas minus the points in this game. That's the way I would lean.
Yeah, I think Kansas is the pick here.
All right, heading on to Duke, Virginia Tech. You and I were talking a little bit last night by text about how we weren't sure Duke should be a number 1 seed. So this team is laying 6 points versus a hot Virginia Tech team. Virginia Tech very good at shooting the three. A lot of guys that can shoot the three on Virginia Tech. They're hitting 38.8%. Duke's I told you Duke seems like a collection of stars that don't really play together that well. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, there's just so much talent on Duke. And there's only just a handful of games that they put it together. Otherwise, they make mistakes. They're sloppy with the ball. They take bad shots. But at the end of the day, they pull it off, but they make you sweat for it. They don't cover big spreads. unless it's one of those games where they choose to just bond together. I mean, realistically, with the talent they have, they should have blown out North Carolina at home in the last game of the season. They should have blew out Miami. They should have blew out Boston. What was the number? Who did they play before Virginia Tech? Or before? Oh God, 2 games ago. Who did they play? I can't think.
Virginia Tech.
Wait, no. Who did they play? Syracuse. They should have blew Syracuse out the water.
Right.
Syracuse was playing with 6 men, their best player on the bench, but they let Syracuse just go off, and Syracuse led for more than half of that game. Duke didn't know what to do. They went into that game like, oh yeah, we got this game. You know, they're shorthanded. We got this easily. They're too cocky. I love Virginia Tech. They're the underdog. Nobody's giving them a shot to win this. And the way how they beat North Carolina yesterday, you got to take this team seriously. And 6 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, these two teams, they only played once this season.
Yeah. And you know what? I throw it all out the window. I throw that all out the window because the way Virginia Tech is playing, they started playing awesome. I mean, really, really good toward the beginning, the middle to February. That's when they start turning it on. And if this team gets hot and hits their threes, watch out. That is going to be tough for Duke to overcome if they can hit their threes.
Yeah, they have been playing a lot tougher. A couple losses to Clemson in there recently in early March. Nice win against Notre Dame, then blew out North Carolina. Do we throw out the North Carolina game? Maybe it's North Carolina coming in off that big win over Duke.
No, North Carolina, they needed to win this pretty much. They want to. I mean, North Carolina, they're a team that no matter who they play, they want to win. They go out playing. They've been playing really, really good. That's a quality win for Virginia Tech. Keeping North Carolina to 59 points, winning by 12. That's a quality win. Because let's not forget, North Carolina beat the shit out of Duke in a very emotional game. And this Coach K with this current team, they just don't bond together.
And it's weird because they've won 9 of their last 10, which is surprising. It seems like they've lost. You know, that North Carolina loss just sticks out like a sore thumb.
It does. But who do they play? Who have they played? I mean, let's go over who Duke has played because they've played a lot of really teams that struggle.
Yeah, going back February 10th.
To before North Carolina. March 1st, they beat Pittsburgh. Big deal. They beat them by Pittsburgh. Before that, you beat Syracuse in Syracuse. Quality win right there. They beat Virginia in Virginia. That was a redemption game from what they lost before. They beat gimping Florida State. I mean, they were just limping into. They were at 4 starters out. They beat a Wake Forest team only by 2 at home, and they were winning by double digit. They let Wake Forest get back in that game.
Right.
Boston College. I mean, Boston College was dog shit back then. So they haven't really played. I mean, they played a couple good games, but mostly, they caught the teams at the right time. So going into this Virginia Tech team, they got to take this team seriously. This is going to be a big, big game, and you can't tell me Virginia Tech's not coming ready for this game. They want Duke.
I like to have those 6 points in my pocket for this game. I'm leaning Virginia Tech. The only thing that scares me is that we really haven't seen like Duke put it all together. You know,
man. Duke has the ability to destroy anybody. They just don't bond together. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. This is not the Coach K team that we're used to seeing. This is not the Duke team that we're used to being hyped and excited about going into the tournament. I just don't have any faith in Duke, and this is the first time ever that I'm feeling this.
Well, one thing, Duke is one of the few teams in the country that averages 80 points a game. I think there's probably 10, 12 of those teams. Virginia Tech, number 18 overall defense. So it's it's kind of a battle of strength on weakness, strength on strength, or whatever. Good offense against a great defense, and then okay offense against okay defense.
Duke's
kind of like that.
Is very, very similar to North Carolina's offense. Very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw what Duke is on offense when they face a very good defensive team like Virginia. Virginia held them to 62 points, and they held them to was oh no, I'm sorry, that's Virginia Tech. Duke was in when they played Virginia, a very good defensive team, held them to 65 points and 68 points. And that's not the Duke. They're in the 70s all the time, high 70s, early 80s. So
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, I think this game will be in the 60s, and one team, the winner, will be in the low 70s. So the total is razor sharp in my opinion. I would lean over, slightly over, probably by sweating your ass off in the last minute of the game by free throws. But I
Yeah.
do think it goes over, and I like Virginia Tech with the points. Even if they
I
don't
also
win, I love the +6.
I also like the over. That's one of my plays for today, probably. I show a nice edge on it. 136.5. I think that'll go over. I think Virginia Tech can score
It's gonna
enough
be close. It's gonna
yeah,
be close.
it'll be in Virginia Tech, good rebounding team too, man, with Aluma and Mutz and Duke's got the star power with Moore and Banchero. It'll be a good game to watch too. I'm leaning 6 points in the over here, +6, Virginia Tech and the over.
Yep.
All right, let's head to some of the late games. We got UCLA, Arizona. Man, this will be another great game. UCLA getting 2 points against that big Arizona team, man, one of the tallest teams in the country. Who are you liking in Arizona, UCLA?
I love Arizona personally. I mean, I think Arizona is going to be a Final Four team. They have all the making to even win it. They're that good. This team is to be serious. I mean, they're very, very.
Yeah.
They're a great team. Let's just say they're a great team. They're definitely Final Four quality, but in this particular game, I think UCLA takes it just based on the way they're playing. Arizona's making a lot of mistakes in this tournament. The last 2 games, they barely got by Stanford. They let Colorado come back from a double-digit lead yesterday. Then Arizona turned it on.
Yeah.
But UCLA, they're just bulldozing past everybody. Don't sleep on this UCLA team because if they win this game, people are going to be questioning: are they that good? Can they win this tournament? And I do think they can win it all too. If they win this game, watch out for UCLA in the big dance. I'm on
Yeah.
UCLA today. I think there's just too much hype over Arizona.
Finally getting healthy. Let's not forget that Arizona's point guard Krisa, he left. He suffered an ankle injury in last night's game, so that's something that bears watching. Arizona, like number 3 overall offense, almost 85 points a game. UCLA offense about 76 points a game. Yeah.
Scores on will. If they're down 2, they're going to get 2. If they're down 1, you don't even have to. I mean, it's not one of those games where it's like, oh, please score, please score. They're going to score. And there's only 2 teams in the whole college basketball that I have confidence in. If there's like 1 possession and I'm down 2, it's Arizona and Purdue. Those are the 2 teams. If they're down by 2 with the game on the line, they're going to score. That's how good they are with that.
Yeah.
So
I like the over in this game, man. That would be the way I would play this one. I think the total's low enough to at 142. I think both these teams can easily get to the 70s with the players. Yeah, I don't.
Personally, I hate the total. I think this is. I mean, it can go both ways. It could be a real defensive battle, or it could be a shootout. It can go both ways. I don't see a blowout. I see it's going to be a grinded out type game, back and forth. And it's going to come down to the last minute. Who hits their free throws at the end of the day is going to win this game. I like both UCLA with the upset. I think UCLA
pretty evenly matched in the free throw department. Pretty evenly matched in the 3-point. Arizona with a little better field goal percentage, but they're feeding those guys inside. Rebounding edge goes to Arizona. So we'll see who can bang out there. Side, I guess I would lean Arizona. I mean, I know you like UCLA today, but
it's no bad choice. It's not.
What worries me about Arizona is they get off to a slow start, so maybe UCLA first half might be a decent play.
Personally, I'm not betting this. It's one of those things where I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna wake up and see who won.
Yeah.
But if you're, I can't stay up. I can't. I'm up.
What do you
way
think
too
about
early every morning.
live betting option here?
Again, this is a very, very tough game. It all depends. It's one of those things where you got to say to yourself, okay, I want Arizona or I want UCLA. And if you see the right opportunity in live betting, yeah, bet it. But you can't go into the live bet saying, ooh, that's a good number. Ooh, you got to be set.
Arizona's down, opening.
You can get points
5,
with
10
Arizona.
minutes. Yeah.
If you can get
that's what I'm talking about.
points with Arizona, that's a win-win. Definitely.
Yep.
I mean, Arizona is by far the best choice, but I just feel that UCLA is going to win this game.
All right. Let's move on to the last game and the team with the horseshoe up its butt. Abilene Christian Wildcats taking on New Mexico State Aggies. Both these teams, coming in. Abilene Christian's played I don't know how many games in a row. It'll be our fourth game in a row.
Fourth game in a row now.
Yeah, I faded them 3 times and went 1-2. So I had Seattle plus the points and just barely escaped with that one last night. Both these teams are hot coming in, man. I tell you. Abilene Christian has got one big dude in the middle, whose name escapes me. Gosh. Is it Simmons? I think the big guy is Simmons, I think. Yeah.
I could look for you.
Yeah, he's the big man. He's a thick. And then they don't have a ton of Simmons.
He's only 6'5".
Okay,
6'5".
maybe it's Cameron there.
You're thinking of you guy. It's 6'11". He's the biggest man.
Because this guy plays a lot of minutes.
Cameron Steele?
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Leonardo Petoli? I don't know. Either way, there's only a handful of guys that are – they have 4 guys are 6'8", 1 6'11". Everybody else is 6'5" and below. They don't have the big size.
I think the dude is Simmons. Simmons. He looks like a big guy, man. He's like 264 pounds, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 264. That's probably him.
He's thick, man. I know he doesn't have a lot of height, but man, he's just a big guy. He's like, a bully down there. And then New Mexico's got size. Let's not beat around the bush, man. They got some dudes.
And we got a comment. We got a question.
Yeah, all right.
Avery is questionable for New Mexico State today.
All right, that's one of their forwards. 6'8", 205, Marcellus Avery.
Freshman.
Yeah.
He only averages 4.1 points. He's not a big – he hasn't scored a point. I'm sorry. Yeah, he hasn't scored a point since February 12th. It's not a big deal. It's not going to game changer. I wouldn't even worry about that injury rate. But New Mexico State, this is their conference. They are just so much more superior than anybody in the conference. If they were going to have problems with anybody, it would have been Grand Canyon, who is in my opinion, very, very good team.
Yep.
But they beat them by 5. I had New Mexico State minus 1.5 yesterday, and I thought that was just easy money. I went to bed anyway, I had to sweat it. But Abilene Christian, they were hurt majority of the year, as we know.
Yeah.
So
last year made a lot of money betting them last year. I'll tell you that.
I love Abilene.
Great defense.
They lost a lot
year.
of players. Lost a lot of players going into this season due to the transfer portal and end of their college career. But they're just, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but they're getting more lucky than anything. And this is the best way I could put it. They're beating on all the worst teams in the conference. 5 games ago, they beat Dixie State. That's not hard to do. 4 games ago, they beat Tarleton by 5 only. That's not hard to do. Utah Valley, probably their toughest. I'm sorry, not their toughest, but they're very, very overrated. Utah Valley, very overrated. And that was also in Abilene. If it was in Utah Valley, I would have said that's a quality win because Utah Valley is a pretty damn good home court team.
Yeah.
Their only quality win was versus Stephen Austin 2 games ago. 76-62. They shut them down. Stephen Austin has a pretty damn good offense.
Yeah, I
then
was surprised. I
yesterday-
really liked Austin.
The last game they played Seattle, who everybody was high on Seattle. Everyone loved Seattle. Seattle's not a good team either, and I told you that yesterday. You either play Abilene or you don't play it at all. It was
Yeah.
-2.5. They won by 2. Me, I would never have played the 2.5. I would have played the 2. I would have pushed.
The
But-
whole difference was Seattle's guard Trammell. That dude made tons of plays driving, and he made all of his free throws. That's the only reason Seattle covered. Otherwise, you're absolutely right. Abilene Christian should have smoked them. They were up by 9, 8, 7, like a lot most of the game, 6, 5. Seattle made a late run, and luckily I got the cover. I had Seattle, but New Mexico State, they got good guards, Allen and Rice. Those guys could score. They also bang under the boards and rebound. And then you got McCants and Moreno also, big getting rebounds. So I think the streak ends for Abilene Christian here tonight. I like New Mexico State. I'll probably be playing this one minus the points. New Mexico State's laying.
I was able to lock it in
5.5. Man.
I got it at -4. And when I was about to send it out, that line just jumped all the way up. I don't like the 5.5.
Yeah, neither do I.
So Abilene, the last 2 games, they in the tournament, they beat Stephen Austin and Seattle. New Mexico State, they played the 2 hardest teams in the conference tournament, Utah Valley and Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me that Abilene Christian has a chance? Hell, New Mexico State is so much more superior. So
they beat Utah Valley by 16. Held them to 46 points, and then Grand Canyon they won't beat by 5.
And that was really the winner of the New Mexico State Grand Canyon is pretty much the winner of the tournament. Because if Abilene wins this game, it will be a monumental upset. Number one, they played 4 games straight. One of the games being an overtime game. They're shooting, 3 of the last 4 games, they shot 50% or below in free throws.
Yeah.
You got to hit your free throws playing New Mexico State. This is the best analogy I could say. It's like Kansas versus Iowa State. Does Iowa State have any chance of beating Kansas? No. And that's the best way I could put it. They're just much more superior than the other.
I'll tell you, Abilene Christian makes their free throws. 75% from the line. That was, that was
for the season.
Yeah.
I'm saying the last 3 of the last 4 games. No.
Yeah, and for the season, they were only shooting about 30% from 3-point, but I tell you, from the playoffs, a lot better. I still like New Mexico State. I mean, when these 2 teams met January 15th, back a while. I mean, Abilene Christian may have been injured, like you say, but that was a 14-point win for New Mexico State.
Abilene they were injured at that time.
Yeah.
They were injured.
So I still like New Mexico State. 5.5 gives me a little pause, though.
No. I'd lean the 5.5. Buy it to 5. I mean, like I said, I liked it at -4. Buy it to -5. And if you really want this game, I wouldn't take the 5.5. Just take the 5, just in case it's a defensive battle and Abilene backdoors it or something.
Right, and the total is 134.5. I kind of lean the over in this game. Last 10 times they played was 140 points. And that was without Abilene Christian, some of their scorers, So leaning on the over in that one. And that's it for our 5-game preview. What do you say we give away a free play?
Do it.
All right. Free play for today. Oh, wait, we're 6-0, our last 6 free plays.
That's right.
So today, a free play is Texas A&M, Arkansas, over 138.5. We will try and be back tomorrow morning previewing tomorrow's games. Hopefully, I can shake this cough I've got. It's just been a struggle.
I know. Others are killing me this week.
Yeah. All right, Anthony, I will talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone, for listening and for being here. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
And I'm the team captain. He's the preview, and I'm the main attraction.
Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible. Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible.
Invincible hustle, mighty desire to conspire to